How to buy a restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer is often described as the first luxury sports utility vehicle. Manufactured in the 1970s, 80s, and early 90s, this vehicle was designed not only for traversing rocky terrain, but also for transporting a large group of passengers relatively comfortably. While this vehicle is no longer being produced, some drivers still actively seek them. No matter if you are interested in how to buy a restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer simply for sentimental purposes, or for transportation, be sure to follow some basic recommendations. Steps 1. Before buying a restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it is important to determine if it is really right for you. As the production of this vehicle was ended in the early 90s, you are looking at a car which is at least 2 decades old that Jeep dealers no longer stock parts for and haven't in over a decade. Grand Wagoneers are classics, and are neat to look at, and fun to drive, but they never had the greatest reputation for reliability even back when they were new. They also get terrible gas mileage, because they were built in an era when gas prices were measured in cents per gallon rather than dollars. Expect around 11 miles per gallon City 13 highway. 2. Those who are looking for a SUV which can take a beating for several years may want to consider a newer model. In contrast, individuals who have a special bond with this particular model will typically be gentler with the vehicle, and will not require it to perform vigorously. This makes the restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer a viable choice for these customers. 3. Find a possible vehicle. Talk to Jeep retailers, mechanics, and restorers. Educate them about your desire to purchase a restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Chances are high that one of these individuals should be able to point you in the proper direction. In addition, individuals who are exhibiting their vehicles at classic car shows and members of Jeep car clubs may be able to provide you with the name and contact information of someone who is interested in selling their restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer. You may also want to consult online discussion boards for possible leads. A number of websites, including www.wagonmaster.com, contain listings of restored Jeep Grand Wagoneers for sale. 4. Evaluate possible restored vehicles. Some restorations are better than others. 5. Check for rust. These vehicles are known for having rust problems, which is one reason they have become rare in some parts of the country. A major area of concern is where the gas tank skid plate attaches to the frame. If you see rust on the skid plate or the frame, don't walk, run. 6. Fresh paint on the frame directly under the driver's door is a sign that someone was trying to cover up a rust problem. 7. Check the body with a magnet. Areas to check are the rocker panels, under the doors, and directly in front of and behind the rear wheels. If the magnet doesn't stick, the truck had rust spots that has had a cheap repair with Bondo, the rust will be back. The correct way repair rust is to cut out the whole rusted body panel out and weld in a new one. 8. Take the screws out of the door trim strips that hold the carpet down and pull the carpet back. These vehicles are known for water leaks, and if the carpet has stayed wet for any length of time, the floorboards will likely be rusted out. 9. Most of these vehicles will have been repainted because the factory paint was defective, not a deal breaker, but check for the quality of the finish. 10. Check under the vehicle for oil leaks. The front and rear engine seals, transmission, and transfer case are problem areas on these vehicles. 11. Take the top off of the air cleaner and look for oil. If there is any oil in the air cleaner, the engine has blown by and will need an overhaul soon. Once you have identified a possible option, you should evaluate both its physical appearance and function capabilities. Take any vehicles you are considering for a test drive before committing to a purchase. 12. Purchase the vehicle. If a certain vehicle meets your approval, make an offer to the seller. Be prepared to pay a large sum of money for a completely restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Some estimates suggest that these vehicles can sell for as much as $20,000 to $35,000 for an all-original Grand Wagoneer with very low miles. Good driver quality Grand Wagoneers with over 100,000 miles, 160,000 kilometers, usually run from $2,000 to $8,000. Warnings. Be aware that insuring a restored Jeep Grand Wagoneer can be quite expensive. This is especially true for vehicles which are especially old or in very good shape. Oftentimes, insuring one of these vehicles can be more expensive than insuring your everyday car. Consider this additional cost before committing to a particular vehicle.